All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say that this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Just coming with a little something, something. The title, The World is Without Righteousness. The world is without righteousness. Mm, 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 mm. Today, I was so busy. I was so busy hearing the most of the Most High Yah, and I was so busy working. And I learned a lot today. And I said, Father, I'm going to start holding on to what you continue to feed me because I can pretty much see that what He is giving me is for me. Even though sometimes I want to just spill over and just tell everybody what He's saying to me. And He was dealing with me today in the water. And I was, how you cooking and washing dishes at the same time, making sure everything's clean while you continue to cook. And the Father dealt with me a way to that I can now embrace more better. I can embrace it because the way He spoke it to me this time. And I give Him all honor and glory. And I am so grateful to have Him greater in me. Oh, I'm so grateful. But the topic today is about the world without righteousness. And what I understand is from what I not just understand, but what I am beholding as a prophetess in the wilderness is that there is no righteousness in the land. There's no righteousness in the land. And earlier today, the Most High explained to me that it was always very little righteousness in the land. Always. Because I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. It don't seem like no righteous in the land. People are going to and fro and going all over the place, trying to make right wrong, to make the lie the truth, hmm to make that which is crooked straight. And they going about it all the wrong ways. Why? Because only one going to make that crooked straight is righteous. Only time you're going to make things that is the way that it is, and you feel you going to come in and you got the words, you got the idea, you got the plan, you got the podcast, you got the YouTube page to bring in the message to people without righteousness. Many people out here holding on to their own interpretation and their own belief, even within themselves. They have placed themselves under righteousness like like it's the umbrella that they use 24/24. Many of people, because they think that they are righteous because their definition of righteousness. They think that their definition is that I treat everybody the same. No, you don't. That's to you, you do. That's why He said, in a man's eyes is all clean. That's what we do. We want to think that we are all upright, we are all righteous, and we just don't understand. Righteousness is a blessing and a spiritual gift from Yah. It is not something you can give yourself. It is not something you can work on within yourself. It is not something that you can define to make you be able to feel better as you continue to live these days. but that's what people use. But I come to tell you that there's no righteousness in the land. And as I see so many people saying that they got the right words to help people, they know how to make things work and how I can get the people to come together. And it's always about that dollar. To me, that dollar is everybody's righteousness. Ooh-wee. That's the close to what they think is righteousness, is what they have, what they got. You see, or how they can get it to make themselves the righteous one, or the one that can teach how to make the crooked straight, the one to can teach how we as a people can unite, how and they think that they can teach these things if they get the right amount of funds, if they get the right financial and the right support from the people. No, 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 no. Righteousness is given as the Father himself has measured it to those that he have assigned. It righteousness wasn't something that people are born into. It's something that Yah branded the spirits of those that comes down for the mission. Righteous is not something you can come up as a child and become, or your mother and your daddy, your grandmama and them, you said they was all righteous and just and upright. Look at, I'll give you an example. Look at Job. Oh, Father, we gonna go there now. I got to calm down a little bit, because you know what, you guys, I could not turn this thing down. I had to cut off my last video, because when I just reviewed the beginning, it was so loud. I said, no, I can't take this. I'm surprised that people sat up and listened to it. They should have said, Miss Deborah, you too loud. Don't hesitate to tell Sister Deborah, you're too loud, because I don't know how to turn it down. This here must not. I think that's why people, you see people taking it and speaking, or taking it and putting it away. And that's probably why, because these are really, really good mics. And I think let me know if I'm getting too loud. Please let me know. Don't let me go on here 2 hours loud. And then you don't tell me that Sister Deborah, you're too loud, because this is what is so close to me. And I have to find a way. And I tried to turn it down and couldn't. It don't have a button to turn it down. So I think I got it too close. I think that's the problem. But let me know if I'm gonna try to tune it down. So let's look at Job. Job was looked at as upright, perfect, a just man. Just mean righteous, y'all. That's what Job was. But what happened to all them 10 kids, 7 sons and 3 daughters? What happened that you was all that, but they wasn't? You get what I'm saying? That's because Yah measure righteousness to those that he sent down here to be righteous. So many of people will step into the seat and the shoes. You know how you said, if the shoes don't fit, don't put them on? You got people in this world today, they will put the shoes on and think they're holier than thou. They upright and they just. And they are the opposite of what righteous is. I want to let you know, y'all, the Father sent the spirits down to do his will. Those were his seeds. In his seeds came righteous, belief, faith, and fear. Okay? Righteous, belief, faith, and fear. They're one of a kind. If you ever wonder to figure out how did the Gentiles get in? They got grafted in under belief and faith only. That's how they got grafted in. So if they were created and branded, it's called branded. They spirit were branded to be already grafted in. They didn't have to. When you're on the outside looking in, You can assume that's the way things were orchestrated. But let me tell you a little something. Okay. They were grafted in the kingdom, baby. They said it again, Deborah. They were grafted in from the kingdom level, not from the earth. You see, they were grafted in with belief and faith from the kingdom, not from the earth. A lot of people don't understand the reason why he could have done away. It couldn't, if it was never said, but the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. The Lamb book of life was written before the foundation of the world. So that leads you to understand, if they are grafted in, they were grafted in from the kingdom, not from the earth. Okay? And we as a people, the saints of Yah, likewise, we came in with 4 brands. Some of us got 3, some got 2, some got 4. And the brands are righteous, belief, faith, and fear. Righteous must be a part of the saints. The saints have to be branded in the spirit by the Most High Yah before the foundation of the world. Why? Because Yah had to put it in the Lamb book of life, baby. See, we want to grab this power and this authority and snatch it all down to the earth from him and claim it like we can name it. No, you can't. That's why I tell you all, as a little girl all the way up to when I was early 20s, Yah revealed things to me regarding what took place before the foundation of the world. And this is the reason why I can stand tall on what I believe in, is because I first learned what took place before the foundation of the world. And at that time, before the foundation of the world, righteous was done. Yah is all righteousness. That's who he is. And when he sent his seeds down, that's what he branded them with. He branded his seeds with righteousness. One might say, well, how could that be if they get down here and they sin? And no, don't get bent, okay? Don't get bent. He branded the spirit, not the flesh. The flesh came down to a world loaded with sin. So the one that sinned is the flesh, it's not the spirit, okay? Get it right. Get it right. So therefore, heavens had already branded the spirits of those that are considered to be saints. They're in the body of Hamashiach. Why? Because the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. And according for him to have written them in the Lamb book of life, everything had to be done from the heavenly level. Once you get that really here, you can go a long ways. But most people don't care about stuff like that because they have put themselves in a way that they are so just, they are so upright, they are so righteous, but they don't understand. Righteous is not something you can be, baby. You just can't be righteous. You just can't be just. Just like belief, faith, and fear. You just can't pull that up. But the mindset of the flesh truly believe in a man's eyes, he is clean. In a man's eyes, he is all clean. Why? Because he's speaking of the flesh level. That's how the flesh is your worst enemy, because it can have you thinking you so clean, you don't even need to even focus on your spirit. Because it wants you to believe that your flesh is so clean. But we know that's not, that's the flesh can think that way. That's how the flesh thinks. But I, Sister Deborah, come to tell you, righteousness is Yah himself. He created the seeds that shall return back into him. where it is written in the Lamb Book of Life. Even when they get on here and they start saying when Moses said, take my name out of the book. Wait a minute, who are you? That's Moses' flesh. That was Moses' flesh speaking. Because that flesh knew that Moses' spirit had some connection to a book. Somewhere along the line, Moses let his spirit, how would I say, slip with his flesh. Because his flesh come talking about take me, blot me out. See, the spirit don't talk like that. Because the spirit knows what's righteous. Your spirit ain't gonna buckle up on y'all like that. See, that's what I'm going back to trying to show you that there's a big difference in righteousness. That's why Sister Deborah can come on this Deborah platform and tell you there's no righteousness in the land. And I'm not just talking about the United States of America. I'm talking about we don't have the righteous. There is no righteousness in the land. And I'm sitting back here looking at the whole ideal of what's going on. Wait a minute, hold up, what's the don't forget, Deborah, I'm righteousness. I am righteous. I'm righteousness. They don't have me. Because if they had righteousness, guess what? Things wouldn't be the way that it is. You see? Because righteousness would exceed wicked and evil and darkness. Right. So therefore, you know that all this darkness that's out here, all this that's going on out here. And I know a lot of you all would think, oh, I don't see no darkness because I'm the light. Please sit down. Sit all the way down. If you have to, sit down on the floor, roll over and lay on the floor until y'all tell you to get up because you're lost with the cause and without. Righteousness is a brand of the Most High Yah. You just can't step into that and step out of it. You just can't go here and there with it. You see, you have to stay close to Yah with that because it is His righteousness that reign in you. Don't ever think that your flesh is just and righteous. Your flesh has not a pin needle of righteous nor just within it. It is the spirit. It is the spirit that holds those gifts. Righteous belief, faith, and fear. It's not the flesh. In the land, all the things that we are beholding, this stuff has no righteous to it. I sit back and I see people talking about reparation. Where is the righteousness in that? Why don't you pull up that first? How about that? You think you can pull up righteousness first? No, we don't need righteousness. We just need reparation. Everything that people are doing in this day and time is bagged up and bagged down by darkness. No righteousness is in the midst. I hear several of our brothers talking about how we need to get together and join together, stick together, help one another. We need to start having people who got the right energy and the vibes to start teaching us how to bank and how to say, bro, kick rocks. You're a long ways from home. There's no righteousness in what you're speaking. They leave righteousness out of everything, you guys. Everything they leave. I would say man. I would have said man. I should have said man because I'm speaking of he and her and him. You see? Everybody leave righteousness and just. Just mean righteous and righteous mean just. They're the same. Yah. Okay? So if you really think, as I see different ones come up and say, we're going to do this and we're going to do this, let's get land and let's build and let's grow. Do you know, you guys, it's nothing no one is doing on this earth that place righteousness first. Everything everybody's doing, righteous is not even detached. They don't care if righteous not detached. They think they upright mindset. What does it say? In a man's eyes is all clean. He's talking about in his flesh. This is what make people think they're righteous. They have righteousness and they're upright and they're just. It's because it's in their flesh, and their flesh is deceiving them 100%. Now, go back to the righteousness. As I sit back and I just hear so many females come up and say that they are chosen, they are prophetess. It's not a word that come out of their mouth that is detached to any righteousness. None whatsoever. No righteousness at all to be found. No spirit and truth. No light. No mystery. No nothing. Everyone I've seen on this devil platform, I have not found one, not one, that put righteous in front of them, in the back of them, on every side. No, because they don't want no dealings with that. They're just trying to make the people think that they are detached to that which is righteous, that which is just, that which is godly, that which is sanctified, that which is holy, that which is the light. They speaking all these things with no righteousness inside. None whatsoever. And are they getting away with it? No, they're getting by with it because the multitude loves. If they can't get chaos, they want the closest thing to chaos. And what's the closest thing to chaos? It's still unrighteous, unjust, wicked, and evil. We're right now living in a day where you cannot look to your left, you can't look to your right, you can't look up ahead, you can't even think about in the back and try to see any action of righteousness. It's not present. They don't want to use that. I'm sitting here listening to these people over and over and over and over. And the spirit said, see, what are they missing, Deborah? Can you see? What are they missing? Can you see? I shut up. They missing righteousness. You know why I knew? It's because I know righteousness. Not only that, but everything people say on these devil platforms, they will never line nothing up with righteousness. Mm-mm. They won't even bring up belief. They won't, nobody. They stay away from things like that. Because how do you, let me get you some, I'm going to lay it all out. You wonder why divorce rate is so high. You wonder why Judah, males and females, are having a battle. Wives and husbands are having a battle. You wonder why everything pretty much is where it's at. But I'm trying to break some things down. All these things is lacking righteousness because people got this mindset that we don't need that, Deborah. We can do away with that and still be successful. Be successful. Be successful. People really believe that, but they've been believing it. It's not something new today. There's no righteousness. So when there's no righteousness, this is why you see all this crime and killing and murder and stealing and robbing and shooting like crazy each other. It's because there's no righteousness in the land. There's no right. Oh, yeah, we can say the police did this, or we can say they're not doing their job. We can say Obama, not Obama, but we can add him in there too. We can say Kamel, whatever her name is. We can say Biden. We can say Trump. You can put all those peoples in there, all of them in there. And one thing they all have in common, they have no righteousness in front of them. They have no righteousness on the left side. They have no righteousness on the right side, and they don't have no righteousness falling behind them. So what do that mean? They're falling. Wicked and evil at its highest of the highest of the highest. Why? Because there's no righteous nowhere to be found. Everything and every choice, everything everybody's doing, they cannot seem to understand. You can sit back and there is a couple of things they have brought out bio, and people are getting sick, but no one understand the reason why that is and that need be is because there's no righteousness present. One man got on here earlier today and he was talking about he don't understand. This was a melanated man. He didn't understand. He had to be like 45. He didn't understand how is it that all of these male melanated men are being murdered and ain't nobody saying nothing because there's no righteousness in the land. What do you want them to do? See, that's what people don't understand. You can't expect any just or upright without righteous. So therefore, you are unjust, and that's what you receive. Everything that they are doing, I, Sister Deborah, see no sight of righteousness. And yeah, when it was brought to me, I needed the comforter. I needed the comforter. I needed the comforter to comfort me in that deal. Because if you understood what I just said, there's no righteousness in the land, your heart should have been beaten a million times in the second. That's showing you another level of wicked and evil and darkness that he has suffered to be in our midst. No righteousness. There's no righteousness. There's no Yah. There's no righteousness. There's no Yah. That means that number one brand of Yah is already branded in his seeds. They're going to return. So what you see on this earth are those that are not branded with righteousness. And this is the chaos you see. They're running it 99.9. And that 1% is the one that is branded with righteousness. There's none whatsoever. Let me give you an example. I'm going to bring him up again. Show you a prime example. I'm going to make it as clear as possible why the Spirit continued to give it to me. Here you got Diddy over here. You got TD Jakes over here. And you got the United States of America over here. You got three people. You got Diddy over here, TD Jakes over here, and the United States of America. Now, the United States of America is the number one sex trafficking. This country is the number one sex trafficking, and trafficking also children. Okay. You got Diddy over here that also is being charged under this country, this big old country that got about what? A billion, I don't know how many people. It's founded, not founded. It is, and it has adopted the sex trafficking belongs to them. They ain't no shame and no game in it. They doing it in broad daylight. That mean right in front of your eyes. But you got this man over here that's melanated, Diddy, and you got TD Jakes that's involved with Diddy. And then you got this big old country, United States of America, that have the audacity to charge one man for sex trafficking when you are the number one sex trafficking in the whole world. You know what else? I can't help but feel the time period in when Judah and Israel were saying, crucify him, crucify him. We cannot connect Diddy with Yeshua. We can't connect them together in any way. But one thing we can connect together, we cannot put Diddy nowhere near the Messiah. But one thing we can put close to the both of them. What did the both of them have in common? Say, for instance, Diddy here, the Messiah over here, they have nothing in common. Nothing. It is Diddy dark, the Messiah is the light. Okay? Diddy evil, the Messiah is righteous. What did they have in common? I'm trying to bring y'all into a level of where you see a sickness is on the earth that has no righteousness. Who can tell me what did Diddy have in common with Yeshua HaMashiach? Anybody in the live chat, if you happen to know, which I know you don't, but if you happen to know, which I know you don't, if you happen to know, which I know you don't, they got something in common. So when you sit back and you hear me bring up Diddy and I bring up Yeshua HaMashiach, first thing you say, well, why is she putting them two together? I'm not. They have nothing in common. One is a dark seed. One is a light seed, which is the righteous one. One is evil, and the other one is the light of Yah. But what do they have in common? One is righteous and one is unrighteous. That's right. But what do they have in common? Now, what I'm saying is where you ain't going to hear this from nobody. And that's a little problem Sister Deborah have, is that what I bring forth to me, it might not be to you, I feel is so potent. I mean, like potent. But it's of spirit and truth. See, it ain't of the world, okay? It's spirit and truth, and it carries the light to bring what I'm saying to light, to bring it into the light so you can see it. You got Diddy and TD Jakes over here. I'm speaking of TD Jakes because he was a part of it, and he's going to get next because you all didn't pay any attention to it, because that's the sense of no righteous in it. During the pandemic, he got with the elites, TD Jakes, he got with the elites, and they offered to give him, which I know they did, him, I think it was something like $4 or $5 billion to build homes. Okay, and he be over it. He ain't got no business being. No, yes, you do. He in the darkness, so he should be over it. But all of that, he's connected to that darkness like Diddy. TD Jakes is. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I'm adding him. But what does Diddy have in common with Yeshua HaMashiach? Someone righteous and unrighteous. That's true. They were both used to bring awareness to sin. I guess you can use that too. That sounds good. See, I wouldn't have never thought of that. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Thank you. See, I wouldn't even thought of that one, but that's a good one. That's a real good one. They are of. Let me explain to you. Here go Diddy over here. He's locked up. They got him on suicide watch. Okay, the Messiah been gone and risen. But let me tell you the difference is it. The same people that said crucify him is the same people that celebrating Diddy. Woo, Father, yeah. The same people The same people are celebrating the one that was righteous and the one that was unrighteous. Now, who's the one that's sicker? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I sat back and I watched how so many of but don't say don't you go there. So many melanated people do a video on Diddy and what he's going through and what happened. And y'all should see how happy and how joyful and how they teaching and giving them, they just all about Diddy. So happy. Same way they were with your Messiah, you guys. They was happy the same way, to the point where the Ruach told me, which I had no idea, but he told me, but I had no idea. He said, Deborah, not only were they Israel and Judah saying crucify him, he said, let me tell you, they had gatherings and feasts to celebrate his crucifixion. I said, Father, don't go there with me. Please don't go there. Oh, please, Father, don't go there with me. Please don't go there. Oh, yes, Deborah. Oh, yes. That's how these people are. So when I'm thinking that they celebrating Diddy, it's the same way they were saying, crucify the Messiah. The Father told me they were celebrating the crucifixion of Yeshua HaMashiach. I said, you gotta be kidding me, Father. Don't tell me that. He said, just adding on to what you know. I just want to give you a little something, something. You see, so that made a lot of sense. So when you hear me saying that, it's not that I'm trying to line Diddy up with Messiah. We know they ain't got nothing in common, but they got one thing in common, y'all. The same people that said crucify him, and like the Father said, they celebrate his crucifixion, is the same people and their children who are saying the same thing with Diddy. Delighted, happy, joyful. And guess what, y'all? I'm going to go on and share with y'all what was said to me, and it hurt my little old fleshly heart, y'all, to know that. Now, you see people saying he's on suicide watch. What the Father shared with me was, Deborah, you see Israel and Judah, the world is watching them. They have watched them in time past as the time present. They're watching them. You know why they watching Israel and Judah? Their actions, how they conducting themselves, how they treat one another, how they against each other, how they can't help each other. They don't work together. They looking at that and says, truly, he ain't coming back for them. See? Oh, no, he ain't coming back for them. These people, all they need to do, where's my little scarf, is drop a scarf, a little thing into the community. Bam! And destroy our whole community. That's a part of what they always did. It was just that easy. Today, same way. When they see Judah cutting up because Diddy is going to be their sacrifice, they got a real. Let me show you what the Spirit told me. He said, now the own tribe that he came out of is showing the elites, which is the United Snakes, who's been running Diddy all the time. Diddy is 0.50. They are 99.50. So Diddy is just 0.50. They are 99.50. They said, now, this is what they said. They say, I'm going to tell you what he showed me. He said, listen to what they say. Right now would be a good time to take him out. We're going to take him out anyway, but it'll be a good time to take him out. All we needed was his people to cut up like they cutting up about him. That's all they needed. They all they needed is Judah to make all these videos to go up against Diddy. The father said he don't need your help. That man has showed the whole world his evil and wicked. Why are you on this devil platform praising the ideal of where he's at? Because that's how sick Judah is. And everybody keep rejecting the fact that Judah is that sick. No, Judah just that sick. When the Father can show me. Now, he showed me the difference between the Messiah being crucified and Diddy have nothing in common. But he said, oh, yes, they do, Deborah. They ain't got nothing in common. Oh, yes, they do, Deborah. They ain't got nothing in common, Father. Yeah. Yes, they do. It's the same people. They said crucify him and feast after he was crucified. It's their children today doing the same thing. Delighted, enjoying. Oh, he's over. He's this. And the one that, watch this here, the United States, that is the #1 sex trafficking, especially with young children and young girls and young boys, especially. See, a lot of y'all don't know about that, but you know, they got a lot. They blow your mind when you see all the young boys they got. They have this, so they are the 99.50. Now they went and took the 0.50 and locked him up. And look how Judah magnified the fact that they got him locked up. And what did they say? He's on suicide watch. Right now, today, at a blink of an eye, they know we can do away with him. And what I felt today, this morning in the water, is they have said to him, do you see all your people already crucified you? We can take you out and they wouldn't even blink, because they all have already crucified you. That's why they said suicide watch. They already know what they got planned for him. But Judah has made it easy. Oh, Father, help me, help me, help me. Help me, Father, help me. You see how Judah, but that's Judah. That's why it was easy for them to crucify the Messiah. It's because the same Negroes today hollering, we are the tribe of Judah. You ain't the tribe. You the tribe of Judah, but you ain't the lion. You the cub to the old lion that's not capitalized. The one you holler crucified, he is the Lion of Judah. See how ignorant they are? So how are you going to take his identity and try to use it for this day and time, knowing your mouth of your ancestors was the one that said crucify the Lion of Judah? See, the same mouth, they don't even understand that's how gone they are. They running around here trying to identify the lion. Bro, you can't identify the lion. You crucified him. So how are you trying to water the chain in the church that's saying the lion? Do you know who the Lion of Judah? It wasn't you. You killed him. You not only did you kill him, you, as he was explaining to me, you all feast and party after his crucifixion. Same people. See, Judah really want people to think that they are all that and some, and everybody bothered me. Let me go here. But one thing Judah did 400 years. Now, it was more longer than 400. Judah never really realized 400 years. Today, past 400, 2024, and Judah never realized that the land in which he scattered you and Israel, y'all matched it up with the spirit that you have. He told y'all that. I scattered you to the land in which you were like unto. He matched it like two pairs of shoes. He took your shoe, Judah, and matched it with the United Snakes and said, good match. Judah, this is where you gonna go. Now, Judah everywhere else, but I'm showing you the majority, Judah, is here. He matched you with the other shoe. And who was the other shoe? The heathens and Gentiles, Europeans, the Romans, all of them in this country. He took your shoe and matched it with theirs. Oh, good match. This is where you're going to be. Because he said, he had to step into Ezekiel to do that. He told Ezekiel, let me tell you who these people are. Ooh, and what they were in the promised land. And when he finished explaining that to Ezekiel, he turned around and said, and for that reason, I'm going to disperse them to a land like unto themselves. 400 years, 401, 2, 3, 4 years and gone by. Judy won't teach that, preach that, no, come up with it and teach it like it should have. You know why? It will bring full conviction, and they don't want to do that. It will bring righteousness, and they don't want to do that. It will bring up the light, and they don't want to do that. They want you to have exactly what you want. Chaos and darkness talk to you on these platforms. There's no righteousness in the land. None whatsoever. 400 and some odd years, and no righteousness pull up in this day and time. Something wrong, y'all. Oh, ain't something wrong. There's something right. Why is it something right? Because y'all already has written it. Anything y'all got written to me, that's right. It's not what you say on this earth to Sister Deborah, and what Deborah hear people talking, preaching and teaching, and what they say, and precepting and lying, and little here and a little there. That ain't it. That ain't it for me. It's what is already written. It's what is right and righteous. You see? And in these end days, he said, I'm going to pull out that knowledge. And that knowledge is in the spirit realm. It comes to tell you there's no righteousness in the land. I've heard 6 or 7 people in the last 2 days talk about how we as a people need to come together. How you going to come together with a creator who said he's going to put you in the land and liken to the people that you are. Beautiful match in the eyes of y'all. Each and every day. Then you're wondering why are we over here and they doing us like this? Nobody don't be talking about as much how they've been doing, but who? United Snakes. Perfect match. Judith needed United Snakes. Perfect match. Perfect. Even when I sit here in the year of 2024 and see, they still ain't seen the match of their shoe that they have. If Judah is one shoe, all they have to do is look at where they at, the people, and how things are going, and they'll find they match. Oh, we in the right place, y'all. What we talking about? We in the right place. Because when we want to say this country is sicker than sick, and they this and they did, y'all said check. That means you better go back and check. But you ain't gonna be able to go back to check, right? Because no righteousness is in you, that you may see what is righteous. So you can't check nothing. I sit back and I just watch the heart and the mindset of people and how they function and how they believe that they walking up and down righteous lane. They upright. I even had a conversation. I didn't have a conversation. He had a conversation with me. He had me to go back. I ain't gonna tell y'all what all that took place, but you know what he had me to go back to? And I was like, what I do? What's going on? What's wrong? He said, go back to your GoFundMe. I went up in that GoFundMe. He said, then look, I couldn't even see it in the natural, y'all. I couldn't even see what he was trying to get me to look in the natural until he pulled me in the spirit and said, now look at it. And then he began to tell me the hearts. I was like, but Father, I wouldn't have never came up with that one. I know you didn't. So I want to let you know, this is okay. This is beautiful. This is excellent. This is how it should be. This is how it always been. It's because he was schooling me out of it. He was showing me the spirits. He was showing me the spirits through something he wanted me to see. And I just thank him for that. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm going back to righteousness. The righteousness of Yah that lives in me shows me things even when I miss it. He bagged me up and bagged me down and said, go back here, check this out. And then in the process of checking it out, I have to be what? Humble. Because he sees something I don't. So I have to be shut down so I can hear. And I'm not talking about shut down as far as my talking, as far as my eyes seeing. No, my spirit has to stand still at attention, like you're going to the throne, and let him teach you what he wants you to see. Because when he showed it to me, it brought many things to play. And he said to me, you always knew it. You always knew it. And I just thank him because I'm like, why would I go back to that? Why do I need to go? That's what my thought when he was telling me to go check it out. And I was like, wow, Father, I would have never. He said, but I wanted you. He said, I will not have you to be ignorant. I want you to know, Deborah. I said, well, thank you so much. I thank him so much for that because he showed me it in the spirit. He told me, and what he did, the hearts in the spirit, you see, versus me talking and, trying to respond in the flesh. I had to shut this thing down to try to get the understanding of what he was revealing, wanting me to go into it and reveal. So I had to shut myself down and just hear what the spirit of the Most High Yah is saying. When Yah is not speaking to you from your inner, you don't have him in you. Yah is not, see, everybody claim. I tell you, if he's not communicating with you in righteousness, in leading and guiding you from the inside, I ain't talking about your flesh, because your flesh quick to say, oh, he with me, I got it. Yeah, right. Who are you called to be then? This sister like to ask you, who are you? Who are you? What is your purpose? What is your mission? Why would he send you down here? And what should you be doing? I ain't talking about self. Everybody would go right back to themselves. Me, mine. No, y'all don't care about your family. He don't care about your wife. He don't care about your husband. He care about only the seeds in which he has planted on this earth. Those are the righteous seeds. And when we get to the level of what is spirit and truth, then we'll start to see the things that are spiritual belong to Yah. All this flesh mindset, flesh thinking, flesh feeling, flesh reacting, never seeing things outside of the conscious or the mindset that you have about yourself and about what you are and where you going and where you have and what you're going to do tomorrow and what you're going to do this. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the spirit being of who you are and who he is in you. and you in him, in the spirit, your spirit man. Where's the righteousness? And I seen a couple of more, probably it was like three guys that had really, 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 really good ideas, you guys. Really good ideas. But they ain't worth a dime. No, I ain't gonna say it ain't worth a cent. Because no righteous in it. Just because they good ideas for the flesh don't mean they good ideas for the spirit. Ain't no righteousness in them. How are you all thinking that you're going to defeat anything in this end day without righteous? Oh, I know. You feel you don't need it. Oh, yes, you do, baby. Oh, yes, you do. Let me tell you somebody. Abraham come pulling up with belief. Y'all said, no, I counted you already. That means you written under righteousness. He checked him. Y'all didn't notice that, but that's what he was doing. Because Abraham was in the spirit, scared as a chicken, communing with the Most High Yah. And it says, and Abraham believed. Let's see if you believe if you was in the flesh, but yet the spirit. But if you were out of this vision, let's see if you believe. But what the Father said, Abraham, I counted you as righteousness. Why? Because that's the number one brand. That's the name. All y'all was saying that Abraham, I don't have you under belief. I have you under righteousness. Now, how is Abraham going to escape? But how is Abraham going to be told where he has him listed, but yet you don't have to be listed at all? Righteousness is when you see something going on, just think that it's wrong, feel that it's wrong. Don't go along with everybody else and try to make wrong right. Righteousness is a feeling as well, that when something is not right and someone is done wrong, or something that people are doing to other people, or people are doing, period. I don't care if it's your mama. I don't care if it's your daddy. I don't care if it's your sister, your brother, your husband, your wife, your granddaddy, your granddad. I don't care who it is, even your children. You have to learn this righteousness. You have to stand on that. You have to stand on righteousness. I'm gonna tell y'all something that happened to me today. I'm just gonna share this. This is okay. My children wanted their meals, so they said, "Here, Mama, take this and go and get the things to make us some meals." So I made them about probably 50 meals. Okay, and you put them into the containers. And you're speaking of 4 men. Then my ex-husband is over there with him too. And my daughter, she's somewhere in Texas. But uh, uh, I finished the meals. I took it over to them. And my ex-husband says, Raymond, a friend is there. And his friend is this European lady, a couple of years older than he is. She just, it's no way. It's no way. Uh, I never met her, and he's been dealing with her for what, about a year and a half now. Only time she used to use a call, she used to text on my phone because he gave her my number, because that's the only number he can remember, because she was hitting on him. And this is my oldest son, Raymond. I was like, oh, and he said, when she's over here, I said, well, that's fine. I'm on my way because I'm dropping this by. You all, let me explain something to you. I feel so sad. I felt sad when I left, because it brought back memories when I was in grade school and in high school. That feeling that people had of me. They were so fearful. The fear. And I want to let you all know that when the Ruach is in you, people got something to fear. Because as a child, this is how it was. Let me tell you what happened to my son. Then I'm going to bring it into the elementary and in the high school. My son was downstairs. I brought the meals in, and my ex-husband came upstairs. He said, uh, he was looking at everything that I had made meals because he wanted liver and smothered with gravy and onions and potatoes, and I think I got spinach on those trays. But he wanted the beef, the roast. He got that. You know, he was just checking to see what all. And he say, I'm gone. I'm gone. I said, where you going? I'm going downstairs. I'm going downstairs. That's what my ex-husband was here. And I said, that I was saying to myself, going downstairs. So I said, go down there and knock on Raymond's door and tell him to come upstairs. I want to talk to him. So that's my oldest son. He came up and oh, he's looking, he's pacing. Woo, but the look on my son's face. Oh, oh boy, he was going back and forth. I said, well, you know, your boss called me and he was telling me that this is your last time. You know, they ain't gonna give you no other shot after this. And I went on and telling him, and he said, "Oh, but yeah," he said, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna do what I need to do and make going to work late, y'all. His boss been dealing with me 5 years. This last year, he met this lady there, and he ain't been going to work on time. So I'm like, okay, okay. And I say, anyway, ever since you met that lady, you've been walking in that job 4 hours, 6 hours late, or call no show. For a whole year, y'all, they put up with that. You know why? Me. They've been dealing with me. Okay. So here it is. I said, when Ben told me, you know, that's it. My son, and he was pacing around, and the look on his face was, it was like he was so afraid. Oh, he was so afraid. I said, you got somebody downstairs? He said, yeah. I said, tell her, come on up. Bring her on up. He said, oh, okay. It took them a half an hour to get up there. He came up. I said, where's she at? Oh, she went to the bathroom. She coming. And he pacing, y'all. My son looking scared. My son looking scared. My ex had said, I'm going downstairs. I'm finna go downstairs. He left way before Raymond gave. I'm laughing, but y'all, I got a whooping. I'm gonna tell you, I got a whooping of sorrow afterwards. And I'm sitting here saying, okay, tell her, come on up here. So she waited a whole she waited another 10 minutes, and she came on up, come up the step, and he pulled a chair out, total gentleman. That's how all my sons are. And but he pulled the chair out right close to me. You know, like I'm sitting here, she was right next, you know, wanted her. It was like, okay, you got to stand before my mama now. This lady came up there and she was just shaking. This lady Deborah, you ain't right. I'm gonna tell y'all, this lady was shaking, scared. I said, what's your problem? I'm just a little nervous. I said, I see, I ain't gonna bite you. I'm a non-tolerant one, but look, you ain't got no business being nervous around me. You know, I just was telling her, and she was sitting here scared as scared can be. And my son was just a nervous wreck, y'all. That handsome young man looking at me like, mama, oh my God, that my mama standing here. Oh, you're just y'all afraid. He was afraid of what mama might say to this girl. Because he know I'm a non-tolerant. And then I told her, I say, it was nice meeting you. All this time you've been dating him, and he been dating you, and I never met you. That's why I wanted you to come up here so I can. She said, oh, okay. Looking all. And when she got up, the smile that was on my son's face, and then he had put his arm around her, with like, and her head went up against his shoulder, like, oh, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And he was holding her, and the smile that was on his face, because he knew his mother. He's known me. He's 44 now. And he knew that I'm a non-tolerant type of person. And I don't buckle. And he just afraid what my mama was going to say. But all the way there, he had no idea I was speaking to the Ruach. And the Ruach told me, Deborah, just let peace go in with you. And you shall come out with peace. I said, but I got some words for her. He said, you ain't got nothing for her. Oh, yeah. He was that lady just don't know who I serve because, hey, wait a minute. I said, I'm going to let her know that anything go down with my son, I'm coming for you. Oh, I was all in the car talking to myself, saying all kind of stuff until the Father told me, Deborah, you're going to go in here with peace and I'm going to bring you out with peace. Don't go saying that. Don't go saying nothing. And that's how she got away with me not saying anything. But when I got back to the car, I feel sad. I feel sad. It brought back memories being in the elementary and in high school. Even on every workplace I go to, y'all. I never wanted no one to be fearful of me. Never, never. Years later, the Father told me, it's the spirit that's on you that they are fearful of. Not so much as you. That's what's been on you ever since you was a little girl. But the sadness is to see, and this ain't just happened to my son, this has happened throughout my life. People being afraid. Very afraid. And that's what I felt when I got back to my car. I felt real sad. Because I don't get a kick out of my son and this lady. She has to been like 45. Why are you so scared of me? But and looking at my baby, my son, 44, just looking at him and seeing how he was so afraid that mama gonna cut up, mama gonna, oh, I'm in trouble. You know, I just didn't like that feeling, y'all. He got his life to live like I have mine. I don't want now one of my children, and never, even my daughter, my oldest daughter has it real bad doing it. She'll look at me a certain way, like, oh, when I come around, it's like, oh, mama here. I hope mama don't say nothing. It's like that. Why they're like that, I have no idea. I don't say stuff to people. I'm telling y'all. But it's going back to, like the Father was said, it's a spirit of me in you. That's what it is. Don't ever get it mixed up, Deborah. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's me that's in you. Who wouldn't be afraid of me? I'm greater than anything in this world. And that's what they are afraid that's in you. Because I felt really sad. I feel sad. And I did shed a few tears because I said, Father, I don't ever want to see my son that fearful of what I might say. Never. And I thank God. I thanked him for letting me come out of there, and he muzzled my mouth. You know, because it's other things going on, y'all, with that, you know, that you would say, Deborah, you should have said something. You should have said, but it's the peace that y'all said to me. You're going to go in there with peace, and peace, I'm bringing you out. That means, okay, it ain't going to be what you want to say, what you're going to say. It's going to be the peace. And when the smile that came on my son's face, and the girl, I said, okay, I'm out. And then she got up and ran over there to my son, hugging him, and he hugging her, and they were just holding each other like they was just in a car accident, and both of them is safe. I know I shouldn't have said it like that, but that's the way they act. And that bothered me. That bothered me. I never did want anyone that fearful. But being 63 and seeing my life from when I was a little child and all the way up until now, even on every job I've worked, And y'all, I worked a lot of places. Now, I'm not caught up in working here 40 and 50 years, 30 and 20. That mess is for the fools who think you're going to gain some of it, gain something when it's all done. You go and play that game. That game is for you and yours. But Sister Deborah, I know who keep me. See, people who don't know who keep them, they can trust in that. But Sister Deborah, I know who keep me. And he have. So getting back to righteousness is being about righteous. When Sister Deborah wanted to go in here and say something really that needed to be said to this young lady, the righteousness in me, which is Yah, see, this is wouldn't allow me. That's the power of the righteousness. So when Sister Deborah say that there's no righteousness in the land, you best believe there's no righteousness in the land that will stop one in this track and say, no, don't kill that lady. Don't kill that man. Don't hang that man. Don't do these gang shooting. You pedophiles, stop. Righteousness put a stop to all that, y'all. And this is why you see all of it and what it's doing on the earth. Because there is no righteousness in the land. People are kicking people doors in, coming in. Why? There's no righteousness. They don't care if you elderly. They don't care if you young. They don't care if your baby's there. They don't care if the husband there. They don't care if your wife there. They don't care if your mama there, your daddy. They don't care. This is a land where there's no righteousness in the land. When they can look at Diddy for what he's doing, 1.50, and they are 99.50. The beginning and the end and everything in between, sex trafficking. They're the number one. How dare they? But they sit back, waited, and Judah had no idea. They've been waiting for you. Judah has no idea you have messed up your tribe, your nation, so bad. And you messed them up so bad because y'all allow you to show your ugliness to them. 400 years. A part of you all, many of you all had no idea that a lot of things that has happened in time past was the way they did everything is the way we react. They wouldn't have killed Martin Luther King. They wouldn't have killed Malcolm X. But we had nothing in us to show them that neither one of them mean anything to us by our own actions. Nobody never told you that. They won't tell you the truth. So they said, let's take them out. Let's take them out. When I look back at it, you guys, I look back at Martin Luther King, and I think about him as a man that came, and they had him doing a lot of wickedness, y'all. They just used him until they used him up. And he did some things that you all don't know nothing about, but they used him until they used him up. And a lot of you all think it was in his power because he was trying to do this. He was trying to sit down. No. That same chokehold they got and had over Malcolm X, they didn't have the chokehold over Malcolm X. Malcolm X, when he went over and he came back, I believe that he had an opportunity to see really what was going on. But it took him to get out of United States to see that. And once he did, he came back wanting to fight full course. He wanted to fight against that, which he come to realize that has been wrong. And they said, no. 99.9 of the tribe of Judah had no idea. Malcolm X lost his life because of you. Martin Luther King lost his life because of you. They're taking them out so that you, Judith, never would come to a balance on anything. When Michael Jackson, in the last 4 or 5 years of his life, he started buckling. Oh, you gonna buckle? We can't let you do that. Take you out. Prince, you want to do some changes? No, you ain't. Take you out. Oprah and Tyler Perry, they doing everything wicked and evil according to 99.50 power over this country. 99.50. I'm gonna start saying that because you all really believe that knucklehead Biden and Carmelita, whatever her name is, she knows she ain't nobody. Obama and Michelle and Trump and all them clowns. They are clowns that's in control over the 99.5. Diddy was also in control. I can't give Diddy that much. I can't give him 99 point. I can't give him 0.5. I give him 0.10. So I give that the power that bees the rules, and this here is the biggest sex traffic in this country, and the power that rule it. So I give it 99.90. Let's get Diddy 0.10. Okay. Now, he didn't have no choice either. I know y'all think that he did. Just like Martin Luther King, if you go back to the history, you'll find out all this other stuff he did outside of what you all thought he did. Okay. Did he? All this stuff that he was doing, they made him do that. He was brought into it as the only way to live. That's why Oprah and we got a lot of, you notice all the basketball players, even Michael Jordan. No one ever said anything about him. He walked around throughout his whole life with a bad attitude. They told him to sell your Negro people these tennis shoes. We'll put your name on it. They made money from your Negro tails all these years. See how they used Michael Jordan? And right now he's standing back trying to get him something right. And he ain't never been right. Once they mess you up, that's it. All of them been under that, y'all. All of them been under the what? The 99.90. The wicked of the highest level wickedness that Yah, Proverbs 16, verse 4, created the evil and the wicked for the days of evil. So therefore, these are people who were already into something and they used them. There's no way that Oprah could do anything, even when she did that school. You know what that school was about? Pedophiles, sex trafficking over in Africa. She set it up so they can use that as one of their sex trafficking rings. Yes, Oprah did for them. Pretend she wanted to get a school over there. She didn't have nothing to do with nobody over there. She did that for them and never done nothing for the schools over in the country she's in. You see? So all this stuff is and was, it has no righteousness in it. So therefore, when there's no righteous, this is what you see. And Yah suffer it to be. And so when we are going to and fro, trying to find our place in the righteous will of the Father, know that he already have what is his written. So we got to get this thing off plan and thinking we can role play this thing or act this thing or portray this thing. We either gonna have it or we ain't. One or the other. But it's already written who's who and what's what. Every last one of these people. It is so easy for them. Let me show you an example. We went on 400 years and didn't say a word about it. Let's go back 40, 50 years. We sat back and act as if we didn't see nothing that was going on. Because as long as we had what we had, we figured they were doing us right. When you look back over, y'all, anytime you got probably more than 200 in the United States, more than 200 in the United States of America, sundown towns. That's letting you know. While you sitting your dumb tail up here talking about voting for these Europeans, and they ain't one of them. Matter of fact, Donald Trump went down to the sundown towns to do his speeches. He visits some of the sundown towns. Why? Because they're gonna all be partaker in what they're gonna have pulling up. The racial war, the war. All them gonna pull up that was already there. You know how many people, brothers and sisters, but more so our brothers that lost their lives in these sundown towns? And we run around here talking we free. We run around here talking about ain't got no righteousness in us. You see? You don't have your tribe fighting for any type of righteousness or right or justice. They never did. They never did. Anytime you got more than 200 towns that's listed as sundown towns, what do y'all think that is? What do you think that is? The ice cream parlor? You can go there and get ice cream? And then what do? We didn't educate our young people about the sundown towns. What can you educate them? You want to run around here and play with the European churches and be a part of their 501 and all this and teaching these people in your congregation, teach them truth, teach them righteous. The churches never did tell the people that there's more than 200 sundown towns in the United States. That means you come down in that town, you ain't coming out. Why didn't y'all know that? Why didn't y'all know that? Do you all know that I'm 63 and I had never in my life heard of that? You know why? Because we are a people who don't do righteous. We would rather sit and make videos about, what's this guy named? Diddy, and praising and happy and partying and just really having a good time because they got him. But can't even go into our communities and see how they closed all our schools where our children, our grandchildren, they don't care. We are a people that is the ugliest that you have seen. And the Father was right in Ezekiel. Let me show you what I'm, Ezekiel 36, I think it is. Let me see here. Let me kind of go over it. And I'm going to find the other verses because I've read it more than in Ezekiel 36. In Ezekiel 30, chapter 36 and verse 17, he says, son of man, check. That's what he's saying. Ezekiel, check. Ezekiel 36 and verse 17, he was talking to Ezekiel. He says, son of man, when the house of Israel dwell in their own land, which was the promised land, they defile it by their own way. Wasn't no heathen with them. Ain't no heathen done nothing, no Gentile, no European, no Roman. Ain't nobody done nothing to them in their own land. He said that they defiled it by their own way. And they're doing. This is the same people. Watch this here.
Their way was before me as a uncleanness of a removed woman. Now watch what he said he's going to do to her. He did to her. That's why you over here. Wherefore, he telling Ezekiel, this is where they going to end up. I poured my fierce upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land. That's the promised land. Just imagine, let's just imagine you going over here to Mount Zion. He leading his over here to Mount Zion. You get over here and you pollute the land and you begin to kill your people. When y'all trying to tell you all, and this is what they 400 and some odd years, and they still ain't taught it to you all, what you did, what your forefathers did. It's because there's no righteousness in you to know. When there's no righteous, you don't want to hear what somebody did unrighteous. Why? Because you ain't got no righteousness in you. I learned that today through the Ruach. When there's no righteous in you, you could care less about what is unrighteous, what those are doing that's unrighteous, what they're continue to do that's unrighteous. You could care less because there's no righteous in you to measure the unrighteous. So you don't care. You just leave it as unrighteous and I'm content. I salute the unrighteous and go on your way. But in Ezekiel chapter 38, he says, wherefore I poured my fierce upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land. So all this whole stuff they've been lying to y'all about, telling y'all that, oh, they did this, they hung us, they did this, they did this, they did this, they did this, they took this, they did all that and some. But the Yah said, stand down, clowns. You was doing it in the land that I gave you, floating with milk and honey. So what do you have to say today? They won't answer to that. They won't teach you. They won't preach. This is why they can't get to the level where they want to get to. 19 Keys really think that someday everybody going to invest money in him and let him be able to travel all over the world and all in United States and coming together and build something for Judith to be able to establish and get to get. Bro, no. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to be right where you at. 19 Keys down. That's it. That's the only place you're going to go is 6 foot under. You ain't going nowhere. But the Spirit of the Most High said, Deborah, had he gripped the understanding of righteousness, then he wouldn't be saying that. And that's what I say unto you. When righteousness has a hold of you, you see the wrong for what it is, and you don't try to sugarcoat it. Or you don't try to say she did, or he did, they did, or we did. You'll be looking at measuring it by righteousness. Okay, so here he's watch how he's going to divide Judah. That's why Judah, where he at? Judah has no idea. Judah has no idea. Judah has no idea today, the year 2024, that they are just identical to the people in this land. Listen to this. And he said in verse 18, Ezekiel 36, verse 18, wherefore I poured my fierce upon them for the blood they had shed upon the land. Now, do y'all know that land was holy? Do y'all know that land was floating with milk and honey? They wasn't lacking nothing. Plus, y'all was in the midst. But what was they doing? Killing up each other. Oh, they doing that here? Yes, sir. And Judah won't preach that thing nor teach that thing. Okay? Now watch this here. And for their idols, wherefore they polluted it. They polluted the land. How could you pollute a holy land? Flowing with milk and honey. How could you do that? You had to have been a nasty people. You had to have been an evil, wicked, nasty people. And then running around here talking about you waiting to go to the promised land. This is why I ask you, where's the righteousness in you? Where is the righteousness in you? See, the righteousness teach this thing in spirit and truth. Righteousness teach it with the light in the right hand. You see? This mess that's on these platforms, these people are not righteous. It's nothing about what they saying nor what they doing that's righteous. Matter of fact, it all sound wicked and evil. Now listen to this. Now y'all wants me to say to y'all. Ezekiel 36 and verse 19. And I scattered them. Wait a minute. Hold up. No, don't hold up. Tell them. I scattered them among the heathens. Woo-wee. And they were dispersed throughout the countries. Watch this here. Watch how. And they were dispersed throughout the countries according to their way. See there, Judah? Israel, y'all been lying and still gonna lie to your people. You was dispersed according, watch this here, according to their way and according to their doing, I judged them. He made sure he put you in a land that was like unto you. So when you go and you want to look in the mirror, you make sure you look in your mirror and you see the heathens and heathens see you. How about that? Because one of a kind in the eyes of Yah. He said, I placed them where they were like unto. And according to their doings, that's why I play. Just imagine what that took for the kingdom. He that sits on the throne. Just imagine what they was like. For him to disperse Israel and Judah to all countries based on the country itself. Based on the country itself. The country had to match Judah. Judah was coming with the left foot shoe, but the country that he was matching Judah with had the right shoe. That means one of a kind. They were just like. Judah was just doing it over in the promised land. What's the difference between what Judah was doing over in the promised land and what Judah is doing today? Is there a difference? Anybody? What's the difference from what Judah is doing today versus what he was doing in the promised land? What's the difference? Anybody? What's the difference? There's none. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. That's how you see how simple that was. It's none. There's no difference. See how you just said that? That's it. 100% true. There's no difference. They doing the same thing they was doing in this land that they did in their land. The same way. No, I ain't talking about the whole world. Y'all ain't talking about the whole world. Go back to Ezekiel chapter 36. He's not talking about the whole world. He's talking about Israel and Judah. So let me give you an example. If Israel and Judah is the left shoe, and y'all matched them with the right shoe, is he concerned about the right shoe or the left shoe when he brought the left shoe to the right shoe? It ain't got nothing to do with the world. See, that's the problem with Israel and Judah. It is so easy and better for us to include everybody. You think they include you? What do they include you in? Zip. So why must we include them in everything y'all trying to tell us? I don't know why. It goes back to Deuteronomy 28. They need to be destroyed because they're never going to see who they are. They're going to live and die, never being able to see the reality of what? Truth. And truth so connected to righteous. But they're not going to see. He said, my people, he called them his people. He has no reason to not call them his people. That's how sharp he is about who he is and what he does. He called them my people, but he said they're going to perish. See, y'all don't play. You're going to perish. It ain't going to be no but, if, or what. It ain't going to be no world, nothing. He know what he got prepared for the whole world. Even someone in the world is still going to be showing up to the kingdom for eternal life. So it's not about when Judah is revealed, it's not about jumping on the world. That's one of the main problems. The world ain't in captivity. The world wasn't sent to captivity. When he's speaking here, he's speaking to Judah and Israel, and he wants us to know that. That's why he's checking Ezekiel. He's checking Ezekiel. You know what he said? He said in verse 16, moreover, exactly what I'm saying now. Moreover, the word of Yah came unto him saying, wait a minute, why do you have to come to him saying this? Because he ain't getting it, Deborah. He ain't getting it. So what did he say? Son of man. He had to call him out. Let me tell you who Israel is, who Israel was, and what I did. We don't want to hear that. But yet, we want to fall under righteous. But yet has nothing in us to say, yeah, you got righteous in you. See, righteous don't make you perfect. That's not the righteous, baby. Righteous is not the one that you can look righteous. You can talk righteous. You can act righteous. You know, that's not righteous. It's righteous is not a way of taking in the flesh. Righteous is who you are in the spirit. 99.915 billion don't know that. Because so much role playing is in people's lives to where they just can't seem to see the basic of anything. And I can see why y'all didn't let us bypass 400 years. You know, I like that because that shows me his judgment is still sitting there on fire. I got to deal with these people, Deborah. So when I begin to think that when all my people are doing this, he said, Deborah, leave me alone. This is the judgment. They're going to be in the ground before they know it. I went to fill out this application for my ex-husband. He got a new job. And it ain't a new job. He working, my son, he's a assistant director. So he's going to be working where his son is at. And I saw something I never seen in my life, y'all. I ain't never seen this. The application had everybody listed, and African Americans was the fifth one. I ain't never seen that in my life. I am a resume a writer. I'm good with all kind of stuff like that because I hired 30 people when I had my cleaning service. 30 people in 1995 to 2000. I know I did all my bookkeeping. I know all about that. All about that. But the thing about it is we have to understand. No, we don't have to understand anything. He says it's over. So ain't no have to do anything because he says it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. What do you want them to have to do? Nothing, because it's over. It has to already be in you, y'all. That spirit has to be already in you. Right? Oh, I was saying righteous is not something that you go looking like, that you go acting like you go portray. You see? Because when I was going to my son's house, I was going, hey, that you didn't see. I wasn't going like in the form of righteous, but righteous pulled up, didn't it? Because it's in me. You see what I'm saying? So righteousness is not something you can just think that you can put on one day and throw away the next. Or I can put this on and I'm gonna look righteous. I'm gonna dress right. Oh, baby, that's the number one thing I see on this devil platform. People playing the role. Who you are on the outside is who you are. Ugly. If you know your dark side of your flesh, you will know it's an ugly thing. But when your spirit pull up and say, but look, I got it under subjection. then you know you in there. Righteous, it'll pull up on you quick. And when I say there's no righteous in the land, this is why you see the things that you see in this day and time. Because there's no righteousness in the land. Someone, a year ago, everybody was on repent. Sit your tails down. Sit down. You don't know nothing about repenting. Oh, I forgot. Yes, they do, Deborah. They know to repent of their flesh so they can go right back and do what they've been doing. That's that repent of the flesh. So there he is. Let me correct that. No, there is a repentance in the flesh. But the repentance in the spirit is not something that you play with. It's not something you can teach and you can preach. Because it comes with such great sorrow in the spirit. And that sorrow bring about a change. It ain't something you just keep on doing, because once your spirit has repent to the Most High Yah, your flesh is going to say what it want to say. But that spirit got to repent to the Most High Yah. And when that spirit repent, it's an inner man. It's down in that thing. And you talking about a sorrow and a guilt and a feeling. But it ain't something to bring you into total conviction. I mean, not conviction, a judgment, but it's just what you learn to do. You learn that this is the true repentance versus the repentance in the flesh. Because a person can quickly and easy say, oh, I'm sorry. But wait a minute, that's the one in the flesh. Because the one in the spirit starts with the spirit. That means you got to go to yourself and bring yourself into repentance by bringing it before Yah. And Yah give you that feeling of sorrow. Because that's what repenting is. It's a feeling. 99.9 believe repenting is something you say out of your ugly mouth. No, it's something you feel. So when Sister Deborah is telling y'all, I feel that thing. I'm telling y'all, I'm stepping straight in front of you out of the flesh, and I'm feeling that thing in the spirit. A lot of y'all never knew what I was talking about, never will. But I will say this, righteousness is not in the land. In things that we do and the actions that you see on the earth today, it's being done without righteousness. And that's why you see so much of it. You see so much of it, of darkness, of wicked, of evil. You see? So it's just horrible to even think that we can get somewhere in this old living without righteousness. I brought this up because something he was telling me in the water, and I was just wondering about hearing a lot of these. And 19 Keys is a good speaker. Yes, he is. I listen to a lot of things he say, but he off bound. He don't have righteousness. He don't have righteousness with it. Why? Because there's too many voices in the land. Now, honestly, I can kind of feel that he is somebody. He could be somebody that Yah is using. Okay, but when I'm discerning him with no righteousness. That's why it's easy for him and to hear all these different gods on the earth and make people think it's okay. And then now he starts saying all these other gods. Let me tell you what he told me. He said, they're saying that we are gods. We are gods. And we actually have the power to change our lives. We have the power to gain. We have the power to get. We have the power to have. And we just need to understand the power that we have as gods. So when you hear these people talking about energy and vibes in a way of themselves having this energy and this vibe to change situations, that's voodoo and witchcraft. A lot of them don't even know what they're tampering in with. They have no idea of the type of thing that they're playing in. And then now you hear the anarchy or whatever his name is, all these other different gods and all these different gods before God, before the God that we serve. Then they put him on the back burner and you don't hear nothing about him. But then they want you to know all these other gods that's rising. I don't know if y'all heard they rising up. What people keep doing is they keep adding on to stuff. And they don't even need to do it anymore. Why? Because the people are confused. People are lost. They have no idea, even in the words in which they speak. They have no idea what they said. They have no idea. Somebody used to tell me, but Deborah, you got to understand, he might have pulled out that strong delusion. That's what I think too. Because he talks about the strong delusion. Oh, I get him to believe a lie. That's what he said. So what I'm saying to you, it is not, it is not big about really just saying something to be saying something. You see, people need to try to capture righteousness in everything they're saying, or if not righteous, just spirit and truth or the light. Not going along to be going along to make one feel better. No. That's why I believe those that are the saints in the body of Hamashiach, this is the time where their light shine. This is the time that their light shine. Because I believe that those that are called out is looking for a pin. They got a pin needle light and they looking for the light that shine, but nobody's talking anything. And this way, the thief is coming in the night, just like the 10 virgins. That trumpet was blown, boom, gone. Everybody's still back here, still talking and acting and talking what they want to say, saying what they want to say, saying based on their fleshly emotions and fleshly feelings. And y'all done kick the rocks and go. That's how he's coming, like a thief in the night. He ain't waiting for you to get it right. He ain't waiting for you to do this and to do that. No, it's over. That time period is over. While we're still here, we need to be speaking spirit and truth. If we're not speaking spirit and truth and we're speaking that which is out of our flesh, I'm going to tell you, it ain't going to get you far in you being able to hold on. Because what people are speaking is what they've been speaking for since the beginning of time, y'all. Since the beginning of time. And it ain't going nowhere. It's what they've been saying since the beginning of time. My thing is, I would say, Father, can I go before your throne on behalf of Judith? I would say that. But what he showed me about Judith, I don't need nobody to say nothing. Because what you don't understand, Judith ain't no different today than their forefathers. Matter of fact, he said they're worse than their forefathers. And what people do not know is this. They think that they're getting out of here and they going somewhere. They really believe that they're going to get up out of here and go somewhere without paying attention to what's going on in the world today. Because they think they are so elect. They are so chosen. They are the only one that, or not the only one, they are the one that y'all coming for. To the point they can't see what's going on in the world that they are about to get caught up in. Because the fire and the judgment ain't skipping over white or black. It ain't skipping over Gentiles or heathens or Israel. No, Israel gonna feel that thing too. Israel's feeling that thing. Israel just don't want to see it. They still don't want to see it. But that's okay. You don't need to see it because you're going to go down. He's still going to get his remnant out. You're going to go down and he's still going to get his remnant out. But what I see is we cover up Judah and Israel in any and everything they do. But see, when you come to the knowledge of who you serve, you speak spirit and truth and you stand tall on it. Because it's not about trying to cover them up by claiming someone else. If y'all said, I send them to the same to the same. I dispersed them according to all the countries according to their doings and their ways. So what are you saying? Their doings and their ways, you dispersed them to the countries that they were like unto. That's what he said. So if you like unto, so what does that mean? If Judah in Israel, or say Judah has the left shoe, he matched that left shoe with the right shoe. Now they a team. They matches. It ain't no nothing. Ain't nothing. And all he was trying to do is get Ezekiel. Like Sister Deborah doing right here on this devil platform. That's the same thing he was doing to Ezekiel. Let me tell you one thing. That's what he was saying. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you who these people were. Let me tell you who these people is. You see? But what Judah does, Judah don't want to hear nothing. Judah don't want to hear nothing. Judah don't need to hear nothing. Judah don't have to hear nothing. To be honest, I'm gonna tell the truth. Tell you the truth, because I think he didn't nailed it when he pulled up with Deuteronomy 28 end game until they are destroyed. So you see why Judah don't need and don't have to, don't y'all ain't waiting for Judah. He ain't waiting for you either. He's about what he said, and he said what he's about. Either you get it or you don't. It's still not gonna roll out the way one want it to roll out or see it. We either see it in the way he's letting it fall, or we don't see it at all. But don't claim it. Don't claim it if you know you don't see it. You see, if you don't have the light in the right hand, or you don't have spirit and truth branded in you, don't go trying to claim something that you ain't, because your very words gonna show up and identify who you are. 24. And there's no need in claiming it. Just go with the flow in which you matches. But when I read this here, that was a couple of years ago. I was like, wait a minute. So you put the people according to their ways, because you can go anywhere and they'll tell you. And I don't think nobody had it worse than Judah in America. Israel. Why ain't Israel trying to touch base with Judah? Or why ain't Israel trying to find Israel? You see? Because it's still the Father's will that it go his way, not theirs, and nobody else's. No matter how people might not want to see it for what it is. They can't, like he said, you can't get them to see it, Deborah, if I don't give them the eye to see, nor the ear to hear it. Because it's going to always be within them to always make sure that it doesn't line up the way that he has orchestrated it in his will. They don't know what, they don't want to hear it. So at today, like I said, I kept hearing them. I hearing these brothers, and they talking about, and I had a couple of sisters too talking about when we need to do it, because the sisters was talking about marriage and how we need to get our marriage together and we need to stick together. And they were talking about how the men this, men that, and I'm gonna cover that too. And how we as women need to try to work with the men, and the men need to work with us, and the men need to stop this, stop that. And then you know what the Father say? He said, "Do you hear that?" I'm in the kitchen cooking up. Father said, "You hear that?" Yeah, I can hear it. He said, "See right there, no righteous. How are they going to do that without righteous? How are they going to mend a marriage or get the brother and the sister to come on one accord to make anything work without righteousness?" See, they everybody got a way out and a way in, but it has nothing to do with righteous. Nobody don't want the part that has to that's attached to what is righteous. They want to go out and do everything without righteousness, and they want to claim it to be right, to be upright, to be just, but they have no righteous within. But you know what? I am so grateful that the righteous, the belief, the faith, and the fear is Yah's brand that he put in our spirits before we came down here. Because if not, they would probably try to battle that, which they still do today. But when Yah say, "I have sealed mine," he sat there and told Satan, "Your seed and mine." He knew what he had invested in his seed. He knew already. He don't have to answer to nobody. for what he have done. It's finished. He completed it in the kingdom. We just down here clowning, thinking the way we see things and the way we can, category things to be. No, y'all ain't gonna let it go. He ain't gonna let it rumble that way. In this end day, that's why the judgment is on the earth and as fire is kindled, because we keep trying to bring it into our way so we can embrace it. See, we can't embrace it and feel good about it until we get it lining up the way we want to feel that thing, the way we want to think it, the way we want to talk it, the way we want to discuss it. We got to leave it where Yah is willing to show us that it is. He already done said in Revelation 10 that I'm finished. If you're gonna get something, get it from my servants. They gonna be holding it. And this today, everybody calling themselves the servant. So which one we gonna believe? 99.9 believe themselves. And that's where they content. I thought about my daughter and her relationship, and she got a baby on the way. I don't care what you got. If there's no righteousness, the individual you have with you that you want to be what you think he should be, no, it can't be. See, a man can't be what a woman want him to be. He got to be who he is, because that's how his greatness comes. His greatness is not the way you want him to be, the way you have fantasized and the way you think and feel that he should be. No. He was created to be a man, and the man that he's created to be, only the heavens in the kingdom of heaven knows. It's not for a woman to orchestrate it. You can't, just because you got your fantasy on how a man should be, how a man should act, what he should do, that's your fantasy. Never apply your fantasy to a man. He was created not by you. He got his own ways. His own doings is invested in him. That's the way y'all orchestrated. And that's probably where a lot of errors and issues are also with the women. They trying to get a man that they have fantasized to be a man. What do that look like? All because you want him to be able to walk, talk, act, dress, and do everything you tell him to do and say everything you tell him to say. That's your fantasy man. Because I know that my daughter, you living on a fantasy, baby. You can't make no man be what you want him to be. You either accept him the way that he is and learn what he has to bring to the table is who he is, not who you want him to be. He got to come to the table just as he is. And you know what? What makes him comfortable is he knowing that the way that he is, you are willing to what the word called love him as he is, not who you want him to be, or you fantasize all your life. Oh, I want a man like this and a man like this and a man like this. You go on, play with yourself. Because he was, the way y'all created him wasn't creating him for you. It was for him himself, for his name's sake. And that taking also going back to righteousness. If he got to be the way you want him to be, your fantasy, he'll never find righteous. He'll never find just. He'll never be upright if he has to be your fantasy. When Yah created man and woman, he created them totally different. So both of them can bring something different to the table. Not the same thing. I want someone just like I am, and I like the things that you don't want nobody like you. You don't even like your own self. So how you want somebody like you? You don't even like your own self. And you don't want nobody like you because you's a female. You want somebody the opposite of you. even think, act, look, and everything different than you. Because you don't even like your own self. And if you your own worst enemy, why do you want another enemy? Why do you want somebody coming around you and he's a man and you're a woman? You want him to be like you. You want him to like the things you like. You want him to eat the things you eat. You want him to think like you think, feel like you feel. Yeah, a lot of women are out here like that because I got one. And that's a fantasy that's doomed. You'll never be happy. I'm going to tell y'all something else that I don't care for. And when I get off of here, I got to do this on a TikTok. People have taken their struggles, their disappointments, and their errors in the way that they have lived life. Those things keep coming back, haunting them. You know, in the midnight hour, come back and I did this. Oh, I hate I did this. Oh, I don't like what I did. Oh, it just with me, just constantly keep bringing. And 20, 30, 40 years going by, and you still meditating on things that you had done, which played a great role in your life because it caused you to do something that wasn't nice. You see? Caused you to do something that was wrong, wasn't good. And it's constantly living with you and going throughout day, week, months, years and years and years. You're looking back at it because you know why? You don't know how to look forward. And according for you look forward, you got to find somebody to blame for all your ugliness and your own wrongdoings and your wrong choices that you made. Nobody made those choices for you. Nobody made those choices for you. But you want someone else to pay the penalty or the consequences for your actions, your choice, and what you chose to do with your life at an early age. You want somebody else to suffer through it. You want to throw it on somebody else because it haunts you, it hurts you to know that you did those sort of things. You don't even know how to get rid of it. You know why you can't get rid of it? You still trying to blame somebody else for it. You so busy trying to blame somebody else for it to where you can't even get rid of it. Even if you blame somebody else, it still haunts you. And I want to tell y'all something. I don't give a rat's behind what has happened in our lives in time past. Heaven's is not going to okay it to be nobody's fault but yours when you finish. So you either forgive and forget and forgive yourself down here and ask y'all to move you forward, or see what you did that's still eating you up throughout your life. When you get to the kingdom, he'll check you then. Because if you think y'all gonna let you flip your ways over to somebody else come judgment, no, you finished. You already written, baby. So you're not going to use everything on this earth to be the reason why you made the choices that you made. Y'all ain't going to go for that. Why? Because you already written. Your best bet is to repent with a spiritual repentance and turn away from it. But this is what people are doing. This is what they're doing. They're blaming others because that sort of blame makes them feel okay. It makes them feel better about the choices they made if they can switch their choices on someone else to blame. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people. If I can just take what I did in my life, if I did this, but if I can just blame someone, you open up YouTube, you open up Twitter, that's all you see. That's all you see. It's people finding time to blame someone else for their own actions. The reason why I couldn't do this is because this wasn't there. Let me check you right quick. You know how many men that didn't have a father in the home? Do you think when they get before the throne, they can claim I didn't have a father in my home? So how did you expect me to do any better as a man? Y'all ain't going for it. Why? He knew you before you got down here, bro. Sis. Or when I was 12 years old, they raped me, and I was raped at 12, 13, and 14. How? Oh, yeah, okay. You think y'all gonna let you use that? I was raped. You see how potent it is? You see the power in what I'm saying? He's not gonna let you do that. You want me to tell y'all why? Because he's not gonna have Satan standing up for judgment on your behalf because of the sin he caused you to do and think. If Satan ain't gonna be paying a penalty for causing you to do things or to say things, why is it he's not gonna be at the throne? And why can't you say, but Satan made me do it? Or say, because y'all's letting you know, y'all. Let me tell you, you ain't coming to my throne with no bull crap. Ain't no mercy gonna be there. Ain't no grace gonna be there. You gonna stand your tail there, and I'm just gonna tell you where you go. Get out of my face. I tried to tell y'all in the last 3 videos, it's not about you. We're down on this earth making everything about us personal, making it about the way we think, making it about the way we feel, our personal opinion, our personal decisions, our right, our life, and don't even know you ain't got no life. You ain't had no life. You was alone, a breath of life, but you ain't got nothing. You got a living, and that ends. It's nothing we're going to be able to try to put before the throne that the throne don't already had put before him already before you come to the throne. So you see, why be on this earth clowning it? Because you're the serpent seed and you don't see nothing wrong with it. That's why no righteous is on the land. So when I go back to think about narrow is the gate, I see why that is the way. Because people don't understand. It's not meant for you to understand. Praise the mighty Yah. And that's what a lot of people are doing. I was on YouTube, and I mean, I heard so many. I ain't never in my living seen so many females blaming their mother. So many males blaming their mother. Where is father? He wasn't there. So that's right. That's about right. You have to blame the only one that was there. You see? But the thing that they blame them for, would you all believe, is things that not cause they beat them or they, nothing that caused them to think that, okay, the reason why my life is ruined is because my daddy wasn't there. The reason why my life is ruined because my mother was there and she was an alcoholic. She was a drug dealer. All that, the father said, you can't bring that before me. Why is it that you can't bring all that before him to justify why you were like you were? Because heaven knew you who you were before you got your butt down here. That's why. Heavens already know who you are. Already got your number and where you going. So you can't go up there thinking you're going to use the cause that's down here to justify where you should spend eternal. Oh, no. It ain't going to be none of that. That's why you need to have more respect for he that created all things. He that got the right hand of all power. He that is the beginning to the end. He that is the I am. That means I can be anything that I want. And who are you to tell me who I am? But no, we don't want that. And you shouldn't want it if it don't want you. Everybody is trying to do things in this world called righteous. Look at how they vote. Look how they on here, Democratic and Republican. Look how dark that is. No righteous on either side. But you got Judith out here cutting up to talk about voting. Getting mad at people because they're not out voting for Democratic. And let me tell you another thing that's really powerful. Now one of them really understand what Democratic stood for. Now one of them really understand what Republicans stand for. Now one of them really understand Deuteronomy 28. Now one of them really understand what they are doing. But you think that y'all going to come down here and help them make better decisions? No, it ain't. It's over. It's finished. Ain't no righteous in neither party. And they up there can't wait to choose darkness. You ain't going to choose no but darkness, so what difference does it make? And I've heard many people say people are getting mad at them and cursing them out because they won't vote for Democratic. How can you vote for two darkness? Do that make any sense? How can you vote for two darkness? I myself, I said it once. I know it don't mean anything, but this is one time in living that everybody should boycott voting this year. I ain't vote but once in my whole life. And I was, I think, 19. I don't get involved in that because the Spirit doesn't show me too much of it, that it ain't got nothing to do with nobody. And just because the people out there running and thinking this has to do with this and have to do with that, you know, it's not about that. You see? So it's all about just, I guess, the Spirit being able to give what is righteous to each individual. You know, because we just out here. And I did. A couple of, it was 3 guys that I really like these guys because they're good speakers. I don't know why. I just feel that they could have made a difference until the Spirit told me, but Deborah, where is their righteousness they're going to hold on to? You said that they can make a difference, but where is their righteousness? They not talking righteousness and nothing they saying. And I was like, hey, I never thought of it like that. I didn't think of it like that. I was looking at how they could have made a difference. But that's a good point. And everything everybody wants to do has no righteousness in it. But they want to make the crook straight. Even when you say reparation, how you going to ask a bunch of people to give you reparation and there's no righteousness in them? There's no righteousness in them. They got sundown towns to kill you and you asking for them to give you reparation. There's no righteousness in them. Now, let's go back to Exodus the first time. You know that one that hardened the heart and was dealing with Pharaoh with all those plagues? He hardened their heart that they gave them without them even asking. Ooh-wee. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? They gave it to them without even asking. Without even asking, they gave them jewelry and everything. Because that was still the right hand of the Father. Here, we sitting here charging the people, telling them we need reparation. Y'all need to give us this for this. And if they gave Judah reparations here in the United States, that would be a time where Judah would take each other out. They wouldn't even need a civil war, nothing. They'll stand back and watch Judah take each other out. I kid you not. Judah will take each other out right here in the United States. And there won't be nobody here that's standing. Not nobody, but like it's going to be just very few will be the remnant being left. Because you give Judah anything around by now in this country, that's it. That's it. Too many of them are signed up for all this, what you call it, cannibal. Too many of them have signed up for guns. You see what they do with the guns. So again, without righteousness, it's nothing we can do right here. We can say it, we can think it, we can feel it, but it's nothing we can do. It's nothing. That's real. And even though when he checked me today, I was like, you know what, Father, I never thought of it like that. But that is so true. I mean, I think I got about 18 videos regarding righteousness. But the way he came to me today, it was like, because I was looking at these guys and hearing them, I said, y'all some pretty good speakers. Y'all could do it. But they keep listening to all this other God. How can you be a God? How could you tell people they are gods and you're a God when you ain't even got to know the one that is? I don't understand. How do you expect yourself to be a God or gods? But you ain't even, how did you become a God when you ain't even got to know the creator? I don't get it. Why would you? I don't get it. That's the part that made me very confusing. What confused? Why does everybody want to be gods? And how did you get to be a God? And you never knew the one that created all things. I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, we got probably 15 minutes for any questions anyone might have in the live chat, or maybe they might even have the answers. Maybe even have the answers. That's him. That's him. You're right. He don't care about the flesh. But that's the only way people want to serve him. He don't care about their flesh, but that's the only way they know and they think and they feel they can serve him. Because I would say, I don't know if I should say this, y'all. I don't think they've been taught it, but I can't say that because they're not going to be able to use that at the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? So if I say it down here on the earth, it would be vain and vexed, because when they stand before the kingdom, they could say they ain't gonna be able to say, well, no one taught me. You get what I'm saying? Just use that one as well. When we stand before y'all ain't looking for us to tell him when I didn't know. Nobody taught me. Nobody showed me. They didn't teach us that. You think y'all gonna be he gonna be measuring it based on that? No. He got you wrote in, you guys, already, who you are, what you are, which book you in. That's why I said, why waste time down on the earth still living clowning? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's real crazy. What you say your grandma would say? Grandma said that. Yeah, their words are hitting the ground. I mean, and it's sad. It's sad. Those are the things he don't want me to say. It's sad about, because guess why, y'all? Is he's looking at the idea of how long everything's been here. He's from A. Let's say he's from A to Z. He down here going in the direction of Z. So should we say that it's so sad? And he's from A to Z, in a sense, thousands of years he's given us that much time. You know what I'm saying? That much chance, or to be able to help one another, share with one another, so it can go over and over, generation every generation. But it's not happening. You say, explain where Joshua says, didn't I say you are gods? I don't know. Pull up the scripture in the chapter, and I can best. I can probably, if you can give me the chapter and the verse. Yeah, but I don't know if y'all know, it's really booming now. I don't know, maybe because I listen to a lot of these guys that I think that could really represent something, and all of a sudden, all of them is going into this. We are our own God, And you know what's so bad about it? Let me show you how they trying to be the most high Yah. You know, want me to tell you why they say that? They're got this thing about if you want anything in life and you want to change things, you're a God. You can do that. How could that be? How could they teach people that because you're a God, you can change things without the Yah? Because you're so busy wanting people to think that there are God, you are God. We have to understand what the word God is. When you turn it backwards, it's dog. Okay? So therefore, listen to this. If it wasn't God, if let's say if Yah is called God and we know him as Yahuwah, then what do you call the lowercase God? Huh? If it really wasn't a God in the Bible, they changed that name. It should have been Yahuwah or Yah. Back in the days, that's what it was called. When they changed it to God. So when did what were they called, since that was a name the Roman Catholic didn't put in there? So what was your God, your lowercase gods? What were you called? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? If God was placed, that's not what it was. It's not called God. You get what I'm saying? God was placed in there by the Roman Catholics. Now, if they placed that in there, which I know backwards, it means dogs. A lot of things they did backwards, because love, if you place that backwards, it says evil. A lot of people don't understand the way they tampered with this book was very dark. But no one wants to hear that, because as long as you're born to serve darkness, you content with this book. You content. You ain't even waiting for the Ruach. You ain't looking for the Ruach. You ain't looking for nothing that Yah is, because you're content, because you were created to be the darkness, to receive any light. So if God was put in the Bible as God, what was God as the lowercase? What was it? Anybody can answer that one. I don't know. It just dawned on me, since they said gods, that was not a word back in the Hebrew, God. So what was it, I wonder? I'm going to look that up tonight. What was it that they can claim? Okay, let's go to, let me see, Psalms 82. And I guess I can put that back. I can put that right here. 82:6. I said, ye are gods, and all of your children. All of you are the children of the Most High. Now, where is God at in Hebrew? Ain't no such thing. So what were they called? Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, so you said they could be called Elohim, Ahaya, or Elohim. But then that's the same as God. I mean, as the same as the Creator. Now, when you say him, I believe that's just meaning that one. Elohim, him. Some of them call him him, but Elohim, Elohim. It got here, Him. I'm looking at him as singular. It's not talking about more than that one. Okay? So when we're saying we're gods, if God was placed in here in the Bible, where did lowercase gods? What does it mean? Anybody? You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out. See, in verse Psalms 82 and verse 6, I have said, you are God's. Now, first thing you have to say, and all of your children, you are children of the Most High Yah. Now, you see the word where it says, I have said. Let's hear Yah say, and Yah said. Okay? And let's see if we can find that. And even when we find that, Gods, what is it? It did not exist in David's time or in our time. God is a name that Roman Catholic has placed as God, God, and we, Gods, is said to be the sons of Yah. Okay? Where along the line did Gods, what was that called back in the Hebrew? You see, back in the days, because God wasn't true. That's not the word. That's not true. That's a lie. God is what you call a lie that was put in there, but we speak it as it God, and because of where we are in Yah and Yah in us, he knows what we're saying until he enlighten us in the fullness. But do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I see that, and I can see it matching gods of the world. I can't see it matching gods of the spirit, which would be the sons of what they call themselves, belonging to the Creator. Belonging. That's what I'm trying to say. Belonging to the Creator. Okay. I don't even know how I can even. I think I said it as plain as I can say it. If we call God, if we call Yah God, God, and that we know that we can call him that by name, but we know who we talking about. Okay. But the name came from the Roman Catholics. Okay. They changed his name. It could have been Yah or Yahuwah, and they changed it to God. So how did his name get changed to God and we get changed to God's? You get what I'm saying with the S? We have to be something else. I would say angels, sons of Yah. That's what I would say. I wouldn't say gods. I think that's there to really throw people off. And that's probably where they getting it from. That's probably where they getting it from. Like this verse here. Oh, but let me hear what it says. Let me hear what it says. Yah standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. Now see here in Psalms 82 and verse 1. He judges among the gods. And then he tells you, have no other God before me. Okay. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the person of the wicked? Oh, yes, I believe that God's, it would be the wicked, the world. Because listen to this here. In Psalms 82, verse 1, Yah standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. That word is not even the Hebrew word. So what word will we use that would be God's in Hebrew? Now watch this here. Verse 2. How long will he judge unjustly and accept the person of the wicked? How long? So watch this here. Defend the poor and the godless, the fatherless, do just to afflict the needy. deliver the poor and the needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundation of the earth are out of course. Wow. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High Yah. Now listen to how that sounds. Now I want you to go over that again. Go over that again, but start with verse Psalms 82, verse 1 all the way down. But he shall die, but ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the prince. O rise, O Yah, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Yeah, go back and see what that's saying, because that I don't know what that is. But the gods, what I'm saying is, if the God wasn't placed in let's say Torah or in the Bible, God was placed there. That's not the real name. And when I say the name in Hebrew, so could the GODS also not be real? And it might be where they're getting this from. Huh? That's where they're getting it from. But what do Egypt have to do with all this? They saying the God of Egypt. We are gods from Egypt. They speaking of Egypt. Oh, y'all ain't heard about them, all them gods everybody turning to? And this other, it's so many people on this platform teaching people how to use their energy to get higher, to get whatever they want in society, how to heal people with your energy, and how to, now I'm gonna go back to, they telling them how they can heal people with your energy and you're a higher person. And that's what I'm trying to say. What happened to the flesh? What is it that people are doing that's giving this glory to so much flesh? And I'm just sitting here thinking, this lady, I mean, it's not just her, it's so many of them out there doing it. And I'm like saying, I didn't even know this stuff exists. Y'all, I'm talking like this because I truly didn't know this stuff exists. I am not going to sit here and tell you. That shows you might think Sister Deborah be all in everybody's business. You know what? I had no idea that this stuff exists. I had no idea that they said that the gods that really created everything, they have been let loose. This is their time, and oh man, they using the eye of the pyramid, and they y'all come on, y'all ain't heard about all that, and it's been going on, and I'm like sitting here trying to figure out what the crap is all of this. And then you know what it did to me? It made me realize that I'm going to sit my butt still, and I'm going to just sit back and watch what y'all going to let them do. L. We are gods because we are judges. Huh? We are gods because we are judges. How can we be judges when we have not judged our own self, which is our flesh? We have to understand, what are we judging? The flesh? Huh? Huh? Where is righteousness in this? We are gods because we are judges. See, that makes it even different. See, what I think is, and that's what I was talking when the Most High was teaching me today, and he was showing me things, and I went on to say, when Father, the way, what's with the way then? How are people gonna know the way? How are they gonna know? He said the way was in the kingdom. It has already been set. So people are walking right today in the area of where they desire their understanding and the way they think, the way they function in the flesh is their understanding. Now, judges is pretty powerful. It's enough that they say they gods. And this is why they don't know left from right, is because they haven't got to know Yah, the Most High Yah. But yet they got to know that they are gods and they are judged. But how you get to know, bypass him, and you're gods and you're a judge? I mean, I don't get that. Maybe you can help us to understand that. You heard of that years ago when where I been in the cage? Wow. No, I had not even heard of this stuff. And as I'm listening to it, I think about what he say in the end days, how he's going to judge Israel and Judah and the nations, you know. And I'm like saying, people don't even know they left and they right. They don't even know which way they going. So you're telling me it always been there. In a sense, it's been years ago I heard it. Oh, wow. So that's why they in tune with it. So then, and so how would I say, dedicated and so embedded in it. It's because it's been going on for years. Now I'm trying to. Who is maybe my thing is, who is we? And I thought he said that that righteousness make righteousness judgment, not so much as yeah, I know he said that a lot of times. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're all over the place. And y'all said, let them go, let them go, let them go, believe in whatever they believe. That's why you look at the 10 virgins, the oil lists, those that didn't have the oil didn't have the truth. Okay, y'all, a lot of y'all don't know that. It was what they didn't have in them. And they couldn't, no matter where they run to get it, they wasn't going to get it. It wasn't in them. And those that had the oil, it wasn't that they did something to have the oil. It's because the oil was put in them before the foundation of the world. And that's why I say, when we give ourselves so much credit and make ourselves all that and some, we miss all the wonderful and awesome and caring and grace and mercy that he's pouring out and giving us. We miss it. We miss it. We miss it because we have made ourselves to be like unto him, or so much so like we like this here. How can we do that? We can. We are our own worst enemy. You see, we are our own worst enemy. But yet we hold these ways as if Yah has poured out into our hand all these ways, and we don't even know who his power is. People right here, 15 billion people on this earth. And out of it's about 15 billion almost that don't know nothing about his power, because we so busy giving ourselves the glory and the honor. We so busy calling ourselves and wanting to be all this and some. It's not because he said we are, it's because we said that we are. Everybody that's sitting here, he said, they said what it said, and Lord is not even in it. It was a word that the Roman Catholic put in there as well. But we say we are of him, but know nothing about him. Here it is, the first beginning, they don't even see the power. And here we are in the 2024, still don't see the power. Because we're giving ourselves too much, y'all. We're giving it to ourselves. We're giving ourselves the glory, the honor, the praise. We're giving ourselves the power. Righteousness. How are we going to do anything and be the gods without righteousness, without belief, without faith, without fear? And those are things that falls in the spiritual. Those are not things in the flesh. How are we going to judge without those things? But yet we just going to come from all of that, bypass all of that, forget about who the Most High is, and we all let stand some. That's what Judah failed at. And they still. And I said, it's okay, Deborah. Deborah, it's okay. It's okay. That Judah is exactly where I wanted him to be. Because I knew where he was, Deborah, and who he is. You see? So these things need be. These things need be. Let him continue in his way of understanding. Because he don't understand, there's two understandings. There's two wisdom. There's two knowledge. You see? One for the flesh and one for the spirit. Which side are you on? You see? There's the one that's going to be born of the flesh. There's one that's going to be born of the spirit. Which side are you on? Why did he separate everything into twos on the earth? Because he want to let you know who's on his side and who's on the dark side. But he don't want Sister Deborah to get bent up and bent down, trying to understand why is it people are giving themselves so much glory, so much honor. Why are they giving themselves, exalting themselves? Why are they putting all this on themselves when heaven knew who they were, knew who they is, and know where they're going? I will be trying to get in touch with the one that created it all to find out, well, what do I need to do? Or where do I need to be? What do I need to be saying? But they don't want that. Because if you think you are God, you don't listen to the one that created all things. If you think you the judge, you ain't gonna listen to nothing. How can we judge anybody without the Holy Spirit? How can we do that? And even with the Holy Spirit, he says, judge righteously, meaning sit your tail down, make sure the beam is out of your eye, and judge righteously, meaning in the order in which he is righteous. Who gonna pull up and try to judge something righteous and don't have righteousness in them? How dare we do that? It doesn't make any sense. And it's not meant. That's what he's saying to me, Deborah. It's not meant to make sense. You can't make sense to flesh. You can only make sense to spirit. And if their spirit hasn't gotten their flesh under the subjection to understand spiritual sense, then they just stuck on fleshly sense. Righteousness is it's not something you can earn, bro. It's not something that comes to you out of obedience. Matter of fact, it already said in Judith, stiff-necked rebellion and disobedience. But the truth be told, righteousness is Yah. Yah is built up with righteous belief, faith, and fear. Those are two of his main brands. So when Abraham was in the vision, he believed in what he saw in the vision. But what y'all say? I tell you what, bro, I counted you in as righteous. Why? Because before Abraham came down, he was founded and branded with righteous. And that's what he let him know. You are already counted as righteous. because that's how he's already in there. He's already in there. See, a lot of us trying to mimic those that were here in time past and fail to realize these were seeds of the Spirit of Yah, seeds of his servants. These were his seeds. They were already branded before they even got down here. You want me to tell you why? The lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. His lamb didn't have to get down here in this nasty flesh to be slaughtered. He was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. That leads you to understand everything was done before heaven and earth was recreated, and it is finished. Yeah, I agree with that. We must learn to hear the voice of Yah through his word, but that can't be the first thing. We can't hear his voice first. You remember the 12 disciples? They didn't believe a thing Yeshua was teaching them. They didn't believe nothing. That's why they had to tarry and wait for the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the only thing they needed, so they can hear the voice of Yah. We can't hear the voice of Yah without the Ruach HaKodesh. Impossible. The disciples sat there and heard in the natural everything Yeshua said, but they did not understand it in the spirit of truth until the day of Pentecost. So they received the Ruach HaKodesh, the day of Pentecost, and all the things which Yeshua had spoken unto them. At that time, once they received the Ruach HaKodesh, it was brought back to their remembrance. It's the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Spirit of Yah, that causes us to hear his word. Before the foundation of the world. And you know, that's a beautiful thing. You know why? Because then nobody can judge you down here and tell you who you are. You see, they can't tell you when you going to heaven or you going to hell. Or it's this religion, it's this belief, it's this. If you don't say the name this way, if you don't get your head wrapped, you don't wear this, you don't wear that. Y'all want y'all to know, hey, baby, check. These things took place before the foundation of the world. So who got something to say to that? That's what make him the I am. He's saying, you know, I can be whatever I want to be because I can do that. Yep, we are excited. That's for real. Yep. Is a judge in itself. Because, you know, if you even, if you, I don't, it just, it's, I hope you all got something out of this message today. I've been on here almost 3 hours. And the topic was righteousness. I want to say again, there's 4 brands in the bosom of the Father. Believe, not righteous, belief, fear, and faith. Do you know faith loves to stay close to righteousness? Fear loves to stay close to belief. They all like to stay close to each other. Why? Because they one of a kind. They all comes together. So they like to stay close to each other. That's the good thing about them. And when you come down here, those are the brands y'all brand you with. Because my thing was, how can we fear you? How can we fear you and the fear of our flesh too? Yah has to give us that fear. Fear is like faith. It's not something you can see. See, people think all these things is something you can, righteous is something you can just build up in yourself, or you can create, or you can dress the, or you can speak the role. No, righteous is a brand of the Most High Yah, that He brands your spirit before you get down. And He told you, I mold you and I shape you. I predestined you, or I ordained you. I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. I shaped and formed you. Do you know what He's talking about? Before you was even in your mother's womb, He said He knew you. See, that's what people don't want to give Him, that glory and that power. We don't want to just say, see there, y'all, He know all things. That's another thing. That's what make Him the I am. Is He know all things. And all things know Him. In Revelation chapter 20, when I heard that the earth and the earth in the what was that? The earth in the heaven fled. I'm saying, what they flying for? Because they saw the face of Yah. Let's go there. See, that's what I'm saying. Whenever you get to the point where you really see Him to be all that and something, then you in there. Outside of that, no. Because when you keep giving yourself the glory to be this, to be that, you can never grip the hem of His garment. You can't. Because you're giving it to yourself. Now, in Revelation chapter 20, listen to this. And I thought this was deep. See, I heard that the ocean and the sea know how to back up. You see? You think they backing up because of y'all? They backing up for the order of the Most High Yah. Same thing with the moon, the sun, and the stars. They got highly respect for Him. Why do we as humans, who got His spirit in us and His breath, and we don't give Him no glory on who He is? Now listen to this. In Revelation chapter 20, this is when the devil's been chained up and bound. With one angel came to bound him up. He's bound and everything. You get into 20, you get down here, and John is telling it like it is, y'all. He talking deep right here in Revelation chapter 20, verse 11 and 12. And John said, I saw a great white throne, and Him that sat on it, from whose face, look at here. Listen to what it says. From whose face the earth and the heavens fled away. I'm like saying, where are they going? Why are they flying? Where are they going? Hey, earth and heaven, where are you flying away from? Oh, no. Why? The look on the Father's face told them to get their tail out of here and never return. Ooh-wee. Y'all wouldn't have never gripped that. Let's go there. Revelation chapter 20, verse 11. John giving us the insight of what's taking place, what he saw. And he said, and I saw a great white throne, and Him that sat on it. Now we know that the Father is sitting on the throne. Now watch this here. From whose face the earth and the heaven fled away. What did they see? What did they see? In the face of Yah. Get your butt out of here now. He didn't even have to say it. John say they saw His face. I'm like, say, Father, why they running? Because your faith in. He said, Deborah, they know what time it is. I don't even have to see it. Wow, that's deep to me. When I see stuff like that, I have to get the overall of what they're saying. You just can't read that and get it. The Ruach got to break it down so you can get it. John sitting up here saying, all because of His face. The earth and the moon took off running. Not the earth. The earth and the heaven, the skies and everything took off running, y'all. Because they saw the face of Yah. Ooh-wee! Tell me what kind of power that has the power over that. The Most High Yah. And then he says, and there was found no place for them. Who? The earth and the heaven. So you mean to tell me when they see His face, they know what time it is? Yeah. Just His face, Deborah. You see? They know it's time to get up and get out. Now, how could that be? So what was that? Bird Box? I heard that. I heard of that before, but I never saw that. Everybody always say you should see that. You should see that. So is it something in that movie that kind of the movie Bird Box? Oh, the people, they saw something. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Good night. People fled away. When that's what I had an issue with that though. I went to the father. I said, well, what John talking about? What's going on here? He said, Debbie, you know you have to be break. This stuff has to come down from the kingdom. This have to come in you where I'm your teacher, and I have to teach it to you. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I ain't got no sense. I said, well, why are they flying? Why are they running away? Why are they fleeing? And as you go down and read, you'll find out why. But it was all when they looked at his face, they took off running. They know that was the end of them. Oh, wow. They killed themselves trying to get away from what they saw. It's a good movie. Can you get that on Netflix? Or I guess I have to see if my son can. Can you get that? Where can you watch that? I would like to watch that. I sure would. But yeah, and as you read in Revelation, when you get to verse 12, and then you get to all the way to the 14, after John talking about John is talking about, huh? John is talking about the heavens and the earth took off running, fled, because they took one look at the face of the Most High Yah. So I'm just seeing. See, he don't have to say nothing. His face tell the story. His face carried the power as well, to where they took off running. And then John saying there was no place for them found for them anymore. See, y'all, I'm telling y'all, we have to see the Most High Yah outside of our flesh. And from what I'm seeing today, I'm gonna watch that. I'm going to watch it. Yes. Yeah, we have to see Yah outside of our flesh. We have to see him in the power in which he stands, in which he is, in which he was. If we could get to the place where and believe the nucleus, righteous faith, fear, and belief. Yes. Yes. If we can get to the place where we can see him for who he is, guess what? He'll meet us there. I'm gonna tell y'all, he'll meet you there. I know he met me there already. I know where he at, but he will meet you there. If you flip that thing out of the way the world wants to see him and wants to portray him, and put him back into the power in which he is and was and going to be, then he would meet you there, and he'll deal with you on that level right there alone. Because he said, denying the power therein. What you mean? Wait, hold up, Father. Y'all, where you going? What you mean denying the power therein? He's saying that in him is his word. His word was, is, and shall be, and was in the beginning. His word is backed up by his power. His power is backed up by his word. And what people are doing, they trying to deal with him on the level of the flesh, where they don't have to deal with him by word and power. And that's what he says that has happened. But it did not happen off his clock. It happened on his clock. So it ain't nothing we doing that's out of order. Everything we doing is in his order. You see, because we don't give him the power. And it don't mean that because we don't give it to him, he don't have it. Because guess what? This going his way, not yours. We still on A. He down there on Z. We lucky, not lucky. We blessed to have the grace and mercy. He down there on Z. His will is down there on Z, while we still up here on A. You see? That shows you it never was meant for us to tag along with him from A to Z. You stay your butt at A and let me tag you from that level. I come in you and teach you from that level. But I got a will to go on down to the end. You stay at A and I'm going down to this to Z, the end. But I'm gonna give y'all grace and mercy while you're up there at A. And a lot of people don't even see that. We as blind can be. Let me take that off of we. People as blind can be. Can't see spiritual, can't hear spiritual. But yet you let them tell it they down there with him on Z. And not even understand. What one thing we should really be grateful for is that grace and mercy. There that too is. You sure right. It's that grace and mercy. Oh, wow. Okay. It's that grace and mercy. That's something to even be grateful for. Because every last one of us that's living today, that's living, it's grace and mercy that let us go from day to day. And for us to just live and not recognize it is because we're not where we think we are. Because even the grace and mercy should be looked at as the Most High Yah doing something special to us and for us. So I, Sister Deborah, will say I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I hope you got something out of it. And you all have a wonderful night. Shalom and shalom.